Mr. Worldwide here in Weligama Beach in Sri Lanka. Today we will be finding out about beginner surfing. What is it that the beach boys want from us? Why the Colombo crowd do not like surfing? And what I think of the Russians in this area. Let's go! As you can see, it's really idyllic conditions here at Weligama Beach. If you're a beginner surfer, there's hardly any better places in the world to learn, in my opinion. I've been taking lessons. I've had 4 lessons already, and they've been very good lessons. So each one has cost, at the start they said 5,000 rupees for an hour, including board rental, and also including tuition. But I managed to get that price down by a whopping 500 rupees, so I was paying 4,500 now. There are some other people where I'm staying who have managed to get 2 for 3,000 rupees each. So if you go and you're 2 people, you pay a total of 6,000, and then it makes the cost a little bit cheaper. Nonetheless, it's extremely cheap when you compare that price to what it costs to take surf lessons in other countries. Weligama is the best surf spot for beginners in Sri Lanka during the 5-month period from November to March. Weligama Bay is around 3 kilometers long and has a really nice green wave and secondary wave. The secondary wave is what beginners practice their pop-ups on. It's crowded though, and expect to be hit by a flying board in the head at least once if you spend more than a week learning to surf. I came back with bruises and cuts on my elbows and head, which took maybe a month to heal. Salt water also slows down the healing process. Still, this is not such a big deal. As a beginner, I recommend the 8-foot foam boards, as they are easier to balance on and won't hurt you if you accidentally get hit in the head by them. Beach boys. The beach boys are a term used to describe the hundreds of male surf instructors aged 16 to 35 who will approach you on the beach and ask you if you want lessons. As there is no requirement to know how to surf to be an instructor, quality will vary widely. A lot of them are very good surfers though. Weligama is a fishing village with limited opportunities for young males to make a living, and surf instruction is a lucrative business. As an example, if you earn 5,000 rupees per 1-hour lesson and you do 10 lessons a week, that is a whopping 50,000 rupees per week income, which is more than twice what a junior doctor in Colombo will be paid for working in medicine. The life strategy of a beach boy can take 2 directions. The first one is that a lot of them meet and marry Western women who are on holiday, which leads to an escape route out of Sri Lanka. The second route is that they start a surf school somewhere in Sri Lanka, which is a very lucrative business. Barriers to entry will be high though, depending on the local mafia who run the tourist areas. If they don't achieve either of these goals at a young age, God only knows what will become of them in middle age. Colombo crowd. The Colombo crowd are very different to Sri Lankans in the south of the island. The major universities, professional jobs, English fluency and wealth is concentrated in Colombo. There was practically zero Colombo crowd in Weligama. Learning to surf, getting a suntan and battling the waves holds no appeal for the Colombo crowd. Most educated people in Colombo do not dream of going to Weligama to surf. They focus on meeting their close social circles at the various air-conditioned 5-star hotel restaurants or bars in Colombo on the weekends. If they do travel on the weekends, it's probably only to go to a temple or a Buddhist pilgrimage site. Russians. Over half the foreigners in Weligama are Russians. In September 2022, Putin tried to conscript 300,000 fighters for the war in Ukraine. A lot of military-aged men and families have fled the country to avoid the draft, the economic sanctions, and the general instability. My observations from talking to a sample size of maybe 20 Russians in Weligama is that they prefer to stay in their groups, prefer to talk their own language even if they know English, and are generally unwilling to smile or interact with others. They also do not tip the waiters from what I have observed. This indifferent attitude is completely the opposite of the Sri Lankans who work in the hospitality industry in Weligama, who are usually smiling and welcoming, which is the friendly culture and personality of Sri Lankans in general around the island. The general unfriendliness has been noticed by a lot of travellers I spoke to, particularly the British, German and Aussie travellers, who were quick to point this out to me, that the situation is very unusual for them as well. But don't take my word for it. Come stay here for a few weeks and do your own research. On the positive side, Weligama in particular is a very poor area, and if not for the boost from tourism revenue, countless families in the area would have starved or not recovered from the recent economic crisis which was caused by politicians. Me surfing. This is me learning to surf. I tried to use the chicken wing pop-up, which was successful, but was later told that it's not the best if you really want to progress in surfing. Nonetheless, it worked better than the other pop-ups that I tried for a beginner.